Hello, this is Matt Blocki with EWA.
Chris Pavcic with EWA.
Today we are talking about the importance of putting your money in an environment where it's as tax efficient while it's growing. Chris, walk us through some numbers here. Why is this so important to make sure that your wealth is accumulating in the right place?
Great question, Matt. So whenever we're saving for retirement, there's generally a couple different buckets that we can put the funds into to grow for the long term. So up on the screen, you'll see now that there's an example of taxable in the light blue and Roth in the dark blue. So this is just an example assuming $1 million was growing over 20 years with a rate of return of 8%. So if you had this $1 million over 20 years, that would turn into $4,660,000 as shown on the right side of the screen. If that's in a Roth environment, you get to keep that full balance. Conversely, if it's in a taxable environment and you're in a 24% bracket, that 4.6 turns to 3.2. So very important to look at where we're putting this money with the end in mind.
Wow, so that's almost a $1.4 million difference over, growth of $1 million over 20 years just by having money in a Roth. So assuming you're 59.5, assuming the 5-year rule has been followed, you're looking at everything tax-free. And then on the 40% bracket, it looks like it's a $2.1 million difference. So great point. We are big proponents of Roth IRAs. If your money can grow in a tax-deferred manner, it's typically best to maximize these vehicles over a taxable manner. Once these vehicles are exhausted, the government does put limits on 401ks, Roth IRAs. Then that's typically where a taxable account becomes very important to supplement those accounts. But the taxable account, to stay on the 24% side, we want to focus on equities that have long-term capital gains attached to it, versus if you're putting bonds that are subject to, for example, you're in the top tax bracket at 37% federal and a 3% state tax, a total of 40%, you can see the erosion of your growth even lower, down to 2.5 million over the 20 years. Look forward to discussing any questions you have and to make sure that your plan is as tax efficient as possible.